At long last.
Hello and welcome to Pod, the podcast where podcasters speak to podcasters about podcasts.
Questions answered.
Crowley.
Hello.
Crowley?
Crowley.
Secrets revealed.
Abbey Road Studios smells of wee.
You are scooping handfuls of uncooked, hard corn kernels and putting them in your mouth.
Got sort of two large bulbous sacs on the back of your back.
Unsolicited advice given.
Don't feed baby bile.
Don't feed baby bile.
Yeah.
It's French. It means big hat.
Tom Crowley, The Interview. Available exclusively at patreon.com/Crowley Time.
Your podcast is dog shit.
Pod.
Roll up, come on, one and all, that's right, roll up. Prepare yourselves for a journey into the unknown and uncomfortable. See Alice, the cloven-hooved seamstress. Gasp at Andrew, the retired businessman with 1,000 teeth, all over his body. Roll your eyes at James, the incredible social media influencer with no nipples. And don't forget, boys and girls, for the next half an hour, it's Crowley time. Crowley time!
Hello, and welcome to Crowley Time with me, Tom Crowley. With me, Tom Crowley. You may have already noticed that this episode of the programme has a slightly shorter runtime than previous ones. You might have felt that first flush of excitement at the appearance of a new Crowley Time, telephoned your loved ones, called in sick to work, put on some slippers, drawn the curtains, and then felt intense chest pains when you noticed the diminished length, and assumed that I, your host, was neglecting or even scorning you. Or perhaps you thought, oh good, if it's shorter, it will probably contain less chaff and more delicious wheat than usual. Well, you're both wrong. This episode is something of an experiment, reducing the number of sketches in an episode just slightly as the result of a recent Twitter poll, which implied that most of you were more interested in having these episodes piped through to you more often, even if it meant they might be a little bit shorter. But of course, brevity is the mother of wit and the soul of invention, so logic dictates that this streamlined, pint-sized comedy suppository should automatically be even more enjoyable than usual. Let's find out whether the mother of wit is a mendacious and loathsome harlot or not, as we plunge headfirst into this overflowing thimble of an episode. Take care. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Davis. It's Mary from Grantham's Bank here.
Oh, hello. Is everything,
Yes, just ringing about some unusual activity on your account here.
Really? Well, I haven't noticed anything unusual.
Well, it is the bank's policy to double-check any transactions that stand out to us on our clients' accounts.
Okay, far away then.
Right, so there are just a few from the last week we wanted to go over.
Yes, fine.
Okay, so there's Monday the 1st of July, £5.99 at Sam's Tasty Chicken, £12.65 at McCrimmon Wines and Spirits.
Yes, that's me.
Alright, Tuesday 2nd of July, £5.99 at Sam's Tasty Chicken, £15.50 at McCrimmon Wines and Spirits.
Yes, that was me.
Alright, next it's Wednesday 3rd of July, £5.99 at Sam's Tasty Chicken, £11 at McCrimmon Wines and Spirits.
Yes.
Thursday 4th of July, £5.99 at Sam's, £12.65 at McCrimmon.
Yes, that's valid.
Yeah, thought so. Friday 5th of July, £5.99 at Sam's Tasty Chicken, £19.50 at McCrimmon Wines and Spirits.
Yes.
And Saturday 6th of July, £5.99 at Sam's Tasty Chicken, £15.
Look, I think it's fairly clear at this point that these purchases were all mine.
Oh yes, absolutely, Mr. Davis.
So, can we please stop running through all these personal details? Right, I think it's very clear there's been no fraud or anything.
Oh no, of course, Mr. Davis. Your account is absolutely secure.
Yeah, it's... What? So, you didn't think anyone had got into my money?
No, Mr. Davis. These transactions are all clearly legitimate.
So why on earth are you calling me then?
We just needed to ask, Mr. Davis. Are you okay?
No.
Yes, that's good, Mr. Davis. Let it out. Let it all out. There's a good boy, Mr. Davis. Oh, it's all going to be all right.
Hello, this is Crowley Time with me, Tom Crowley, We can't take your call at the moment. Please leave your message after the tone.
Hello, Mr. Crowley. You may not be aware of this, but the Edinburgh Festival Fringe is on at the moment, and as you appear to have launched a competing comedy product, the Fringe Society will be taking you to court. Okay, thanks, bye.
These are the diaries of Link Tangent, space cartographer. Faithfully maintained and preserved in case the yoga instructor I never paid catches up with me one day and people want to know why I was found in several trash compactors. Link's log, space year 3, space month, Titmouse. An uneventful few space weeks mapping the Gamma Quadrant, mostly just gas giants and cream craters, save for one encounter. I had noticed myself gaining weight. My cold-proof blubber, the pride of any right-thinking astro-man, had become excessive, and I was having difficulty squeezing through the docking tube. I put it down to months spent in zero gravity, my unchallenged muscles atrophying and turning into mere meat. I decided some exercise was in order, so I departed the Gamma Quadrant to the closest planet with breathable air and a less creamy surface, Gelgon. During a previous time of extended planet-side leave, I had spent many a pleasant morning jogging along the silver sands and black lakes of Gelgon and recuperated in the local spa with a Gelgonese Bloody Mary, made with real Zargothrope blood. Suffice to say, once I touched down at Spa Base, it became clear that Gelgon was not what it once was. Several of the spa buildings had sunk into what appeared to be a bubbling purple ooze emanating from the planet's crust. The land was pockmarked all over with treacherous pits, each leading to a well of that same viscous purple liquid. As far as the eye could see, there was not a living soul around. I also saw on a nearby sign that they no longer offered free cable. After 20 minutes of searching, I finally found a Gelgon local. From his battered name tag, I could deduce that he had previously worked at the spa as a greeter, and that his name was Kledge. Kledge informed me that the Gelgonese people had committed a crime against nature in excessively mining the black crystals native to their home world. These crystals were sold intergalactically as a hyper-efficient fuel, and when melted down and injected into the armpit, as a powerful hallucinogen. The Gelgons had disregarded their scientists' warnings and mined the planet bare of the black crystal, only to then discover that these crystals were a natural antibody to that bubbling purple goop. And with the planet's chemical makeup now devoid of the crystal's good influence, the goop was free to rise to the planet's surface and claim it as its own. I asked how long ago this great collapse had happened, and Kledge informed me that it was about a week ago and that they all still felt really pretty silly about the whole thing. I was downhearted, and at this point really craving a hard drink. But I dug deep into my reserves of determination and told myself that an entire race's near destruction was no reason to neglect one's health. Stripping down to my space onesie and jogging pouch, I set off on an exploratory run around the local region, hoping that I might find further signs of survivors, or even, if I was very lucky, an open bar. As I journeyed further and further from my spacecraft, I saw that indeed the whole planet had succumbed to the goo. The silver sands were now blemished with acid scorches, and the black lakes boiled with a heat which made the air thick. It smelled of a rotten jack-o'-lantern that someone had pissed in. After about half a mile, my legs were becoming fatigued, and I also noticed something else, a roiling, churning pain in my swollen stomach. I put it down to the now perverted atmosphere of the planet and paused to lean against an outcrop momentarily, hoping it would pass. The pain only became more intense. I slithered out of my onesie, unbolted my pouch, and crouched over the dry dirt, assuming that what I was experiencing was an uncomfortable bowel movement, probably brought on by the out-of-date custard pills I'd eaten for breakfast that morning. The pain I experienced while twisting and contorting my guts was like nothing I had ever felt before. At one point, I feared I might pass out, or at least say a really bad curse word out loud. Eventually, after 20 or 30 minutes, it was all over. I turned, and, expecting to see the most grotesque turds ever lain by a man, I was stunned to see a clutch of 8 eggs, still moist and glistening from my passages. I was dumbstruck. I sat with the eggs for the following several hours, ever aware of the encroaching goo that threatened to engulf all around it. Eventually, there was some movement. The eggs twitched, convulsed, and eventually cracked. The creatures which poured forth were like nothing I'd seen before. They were scaly, six-limbed, lizard-like animals, only with my face. My unmistakable face, pasted awkwardly on the front of their tiny lizard heads as if by an entry-level graphic designer. They took one look at me and immediately scattered off into unknown parts of the underbrush. I think I heard one of them say, "Mama," before it went. In all honesty, I had no idea what to do about this, so I went back to my ship and flew away, in order to record this log entry and avoid any more awkward encounters. Perhaps from these 8 creatures, a mighty race of half-link, half-lizard beings will rise and form a towering civilization one day. The Lynxerds. Or, more likely, perhaps they'll get lost and be consumed by the purple goo like the rest of that whole stupid planet full of avaricious dummies. In lighter news, my unwanted extra bulk has begun to recede after I shed my eggs, so perhaps I am not quite as out of shape as I had imagined. It seems somebody has earned an extra quail for space dinner tonight, and that someone is myself, Link Tangent, space cartographer. All there is left to do today is to go down to the quail coops on the 4th deck and fire up the griddle. And scratch off Gelgon as an inhabited planet on our charts, of course. This is Link Tangent, space cartographer, signing off. Mama. Oh, what was that?
Yeah, Tom Crowley. I found that note you left for me in that restroom in Tuscaloosa. You know the one I mean. I seen that note you left, and I want you to know that you made a powerful enemy today. I won't rest until you're tied to a chair, sucking on a lit stick of dynamite, watching the fuse getting shorter and shorter. Okay, thanks, bye.
Nice place, isn't it?
Yes. Thanks for bringing me.
No, it's fine. My treat. I found it a few weeks ago. It's really lovely. It feels like nobody's really discovered it yet. You can always get a table.
So, what's the occasion?
How do you mean?
Well, we don't speak that often. It just seemed a bit out of the blue.
Yeah. Well, you see, there was a particular reason I thought we ought to get together.
Yeah?
Yes, something I really thought I ought to do in person. Something I ought to tell you face to face, you know.
Right.
You see, it's about Auntie Gertrude.
Oh, is she okay?
She's, well, in a way, not really.
Oh my goodness, what is it?
See, this is what... Right, I'll just come straight out with it. Auntie Gertrude, she has cancer.
Okay, guys, how are we doing this afternoon? Fine.
Yes, fine, thanks.
So, today we've got a lovely rack of lamb, that's the special main, lovely lemon drizzle cake for afters, and as always I recommend a platter of our share of sliders for your starter. That's got potato croquettes, mini cheeseburgers, and plenty more besides. Treat yourself, I say. But first, guys, can I get you anything to drink?
Just tap water's fine, please.
Yes, just a jug for the table.
All right then, tap juice for 2, coming right up. Oh, sorry.
No, really, don't worry.
It always happens like that, doesn't it? You're telling a joke, or you're just getting to the point, and the waiter always...
Yes, I know. So you were saying?
Yes, sorry. It's hard for me to tell you this, but I thought it was only right. Auntie Gertrude has cancer...
Okay, a peach Bellini and an Earl Grey tea.
No, we just said 2 tap waters.
Just a jug for the table.
I'm pretty sure this was the order. No, it wasn't. Look, we'll just take them, all right?
No, let me just check my pad here. Oh, dear. Oh, silly me. Yes, there it is. 2 tap waters, jug for the table. I'd forget my head if it wasn't bolted on. I'll be right back with your waters. A million apologies.
Right, that's it. I'm just going to come out with it before we get interrupted again, because this is clearly just going to keep happening.
Yes, please, just spit it out.
Okay. Auntie Gertrude has cancer.
2 tap waters, jug for the table. Are you guys ready to order your starters now? Thinking about that share a slider platter?
Look, would you, please? I'm sorry, you're not to know, but we're having a very serious conversation here, and while we appreciate the attentive service, we would very much like it if you could just give us 2 minutes of peace.
I understand, sir. Very sorry for the interruption. I'll come back in a minute.
Oh, God, I feel terrible now.
No, it's only fair. So, please, Auntie Gertrude.
Yes, of course. Auntie Gertrude has cancelled her Netflix subscription.
What?
Yeah, we found out last week.
But the new season of Stranger Things just launched.
I know.
What's she going to do?
I don't know. Oh, God, I don't know.
Oh, God. Dab your lips with your napkin and sip your last dribble of wine, as this slimline meal has come to an end. Do you feel sated, replenished, fulfilled? Or do you feel betrayed, starved, abandoned? And if you do you sort of enjoy it in a weird way? If you missed the full deep dive Crowley Time experience, be sure to let me know on social media, on Facebook, Instaman or Twitto at @TomCrowley. The poll of length versus frequency has ended, but the margin of victory was very narrow, and as in any healthy, functioning democracy, you naturally have the chance to have your say and change your mind. If you're one of my faithful Patreon supporters, and the shorter runtime makes you think, what the fuck is this clown playing at? I promised to give him $2 per episode, and now he moves the goalposts on me! Oh, fuck! Fuck, that money was supposed to go to my children's college fund, and now it's... Oh, fuck! Then I've got good news for you. There's a full hour-long bonus episode available exclusively for all paying supporters right now at patreon.com/CrowleyTime. It's an improvised interview featuring myself opposite Ben Partridge of the Beef and Dairy Network podcast. So head over there right now to claim your reward, just as long as you're prepared for a metric ton of absolute bollocks. And if you have yet to listen to the Beef and Dairy Network podcast, what in the name of God is wrong with you? It's one of the funniest podcasts ever produced, and you should listen to it all immediately before the comedy police come and arrest Ben for being too silly. If you're not yet a paying supporter and you'd like to hear that exclusive bonus content and help me to pay for the water I drink and the air I breathe while you're doing it, then it's not too late. Sign up as a supporter at that same address, patreon.com/CrowleyTime, to gain access to all bonus material past, present, and future. Though this meeting between us may have been brief, I most certainly enjoyed it. And I hope you did too. I hope you enjoyed it so much that it has ruined all other enjoyment for you. Even the enjoyment of an ice-cold beer after a long day's work, the smell of a lover's hair in the morning, and crisps. The next episode will be released when you first come within 5 miles of the person who will one day bury you. So make sure to subscribe, so you'll be alerted at the precise moment that happens. Everything you've just heard was made by me, Tom Crowley. Special thanks to Ben Partridge of the Beef and Dairy Network podcast. If you've enjoyed my offerings, please give this show a nice review on iTunes, Stitcher, or your podcast keg of choice. Please submit all praise, questions, or complaints to @TomCrowley on Twitter. To help me fund a personal violent quest for revenge, go to patreon.com/CrowleyTime and become a supporter today. And remember, who would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life? Only a licensed fardel bearer. Contact your local trade ombudsman for more information.
God, Jesus. Oh, God! Oh!
Darling.
Oh, my God.
Darling, what's wrong? What's the matter?
Oh, God, Carol. Oh, fuck. It's gone. It's gone. The money's gone.
Oh, money, darling, what are you talking about?
The kids' college money. It's all gone.
What? Both dollars?
Yeah, both. It's all gone. It's all gone. I gave it all to Tom Crowley.
Tom Crowley, the one who makes the podcast Crowley Time with me, Tom Crowley?
Yeah, that's him. That's him.
I became a supporter on Patreon, and now he's shortened the length of the episodes, and the money's gone. God's sake, darling, what were you thinking? Look, it's quite a funny show, all right? And when I put the money down, I thought, oh, well, we're getting full-length episodes. It's good value for money. Darling, that's the children's school money. I mean, what were you thinking? Look, it's quite good. I like the bit with the guy in space. I mean, some of the other bits are fairly amusing. God, Stephen, what have you done? What are we going to do? Leave me alone. Just leave me alone.